up there because the law gives them that power. We also have some little powers, but it must be in conjunction with the policemen.
Now, how helpful do you think communities can be to law enforcement agencies in the area of intelligence gathering vis-a-vis community policing?
Very, very, very helpful. You know what makes Britain or America different is because the people are willing to give out information. They are willing to give out information. If you are walking aimlessly in any back street in London, before you know it, you will see policemen coming around to come and chat with you. One old woman has called the police. I've seen a strange person there, and that person will not show up. The policemen will just come around. But in our own situation, there have been cases where you see people being attacked. It's either they watch from a distance or they run away. They won't make any effort to call the police. And that is changing through the CDA, because what they usually run away from is that they think the police will now subject them to a lot of interrogation, come today, come tomorrow. But once the CDA is aware, the CDA chairman or the secretary, they can mess with you. Once you give information, the information will be kept secret. In fact, you see, our lecture day, we discussed this issue of security. Our senior lecturer, the special advisor to the governor on security, PC Balogun, retired. He gave us a marvelous lecture, and we are sending this to all CDAs that they should study it. The Commissioner of Police also gave us his own. Brown people and vigilante, they also talked. We benefited a lot from that activity.
I want to ask of this, and I would like to be clarified. Apart from residential CDAs, do we have situations of institutional CDAs?
Oh, yes.
Okay, fine. Because we have educational institutions that are on their own community.
Yes.
We talk of OOU community, we talk of Mapoli community. We have
even
them
at secondary school level. We have CDA at secondary school level. We have parents will leave their own CDA and come and hold CDA meeting in their school. So it's something that is going very far, especially in the southwest, though Ogun State is in the front.
You can't say you don't have challenges. Maybe after today, then I'll take you up on the challenges of your movement.
There are so many. There are challenges.
Okay, fine. We'll get to that afterwards.
Okay. Initially, when we started the program, I did ask you about the issue of Aro.
Yes.
And some other communal efforts that really assisted, particularly in Yoruba land, to get us to where we are today.
Yes.
But today, we all talk about Yoruba culture, Yoruba norms going into extinction because we are not passing these things to the generations coming behind. How much of these efforts are you making, concerted efforts, to make sure that CDAs is not just limited, it's not just limited to the elderly ones in the society?
That is what we are trying to do now. And in any case, I want to give you a hint. This present governor has done something. Maybe I will let him tell the people himself that we encourage younger people to come into CDA. Probably during this third year anniversary, he will unveil that. He didn't tell me anything, but the youth leader in Ogun State has spoken to me about it. We held a meeting. That was the meeting that kept me from coming here earlier. So we are involving the younger. We have young people in CDAs too. It's only because many of the times they may have gone to work or they are too busy and so. But those of us who are elderly, you have retired. You have less to do. Then you must improve your community. You must return something back. That is why we are many. But that doesn't mean that there are no youth. We even have youth leaders within many CDAs now. Youth leaders. So It is the extinction you are talking about. No, a culture that does not modify itself will go into extinction. We are modifying our culture. I don't believe that it's going into extinction. So long as we are living together, there must be interaction. Interaction is what produces culture. I mean, if I don't interact with you, there will be no systematic way of doing things.
Okay, another identifying factor that has made some people in some communities to adopt the Sidon Luke syndrome, as propounded by late Chief Bola is that a lot of CDAs, membership of these CDAs, are tilting towards politics, that you are meddling with politics, and that is why some people felt if you are bringing in politics on board, then it's rather for me to keep away from such, because a lot of CDAs have been accused of having to go for party A or for party B so that they could be of they could benefit from the inherent advantages that the administration might bring on board.
Well, you see, fortunately, when you were building your house, or when you went to rent a house somewhere, you did not go there because there are party members there. It can never be uniform. If you collect 10 people in a community, they can never belong to the same party. And you cannot force anybody to join your own party. So it is not true. I want you to know that CDA is bound to work with any government. I'm not saying they should go and register in their. I am not a card-carrying member of any political party. But if you see me on that day at the stadium, you will think myself and Amosu we belong to the same party. I've never been to their party. We must work with them. It is against our own constitution to identify ourselves as a party loyalist during CDA activities. You cannot put on a cap bearing an insignia of a party to a CDA meeting. They will send you back. Keep your cap or a vest. It is against our constitution.
So if no political party has infiltrated.
No.
Okay.
If you are doing it, we are not aware of it. And it's impossible for a community to have the same ideology, for all the members of the community to have the same ideology. No.
In terms of partisan
politics. They can belong to any party. I, as the state chairman, I don't carry any card for any party. I only wish our government is good. And whether it is good or otherwise, we will still work with them because they will still need to do something for us.
Now let's talk about education, which I believe is a soft spot.
Yes.
You started off as a teacher after leaving P&T.
Yes.
And you retired as a principal.
Yes.
The pinnacle, possibly,
yes,
of active teaching profession.
Yes.
You had your dreams while growing up for the nation's education sector. I'm sure those dreams are not what we have now. I do not know.
You see, dreams will always remain dreams. Whatever you do, you continue plodding. Something might break. I remember the best time I had as a principal was when Papa Shofenwa was the chairman of the CDC, of the commission. He gave authority to principals, and that improved the system. I don't know what is happening now. It's 7 years. I don't know what is happening, but if principals are given authority, due authority, controlled authority, because no freedom is limitless, there will be improvement. Government has been spending so much money on education now. See all the schools they are constructing and so on. I think it's good for us. Nobody can tell me that this government has spent enough money on education. I don't mean they have not spent money, but even if they spend double that, I still believe they can still spend more, because There's nothing you can equate education with. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If the children can be well educated, it is for education is development. So once they have the education, they can find their way. Yes, we are now talking about education that will make them be employing people and so on and so forth. Employment. It is true. It is important. And of course, you see, that is where modification is coming in. I have some children, my own children. One of them is on his own after finishing his education and is employing people now, starting from next to nothing. So all these are those things that make education worthwhile. So I praise this government for spending so much, but if they have more money, let them spend more.
Okay, so Akinsonwon, during your own time when you were growing up,
yes,
and your parents thought it necessary that you must be educated,
yes,
and you passed through all that, don't you think that inconsistent policies from policy formulation these days has been the bane of what our education industry is talking today? Because at a time you had series of policies that were formulated, experimented, and at the end of the day we dumped such. And again today, we have used those policies to gradually kill some integral parts of our educational system. Take for instance, technical education is completely buried. I'm not talking of Ogun State, Nigeria as a whole. Polytechnic also is also drifting towards that because of the inequalities that we have in the society. So what is your take on that?
I want to say that our education is not so terrible as you look at it. The only terrible thing I can say about our education is that there is no proper control of teachers in schools. I'm telling you this honestly. If principals and head teachers are given some more opportunity, supervised authority, we will have improvements. They are pumping enough money into education now, but the principals and the head teachers needed to be given some more authorities, because I told you about Papa Lamidi Shofenwa. That man was a good administrator, and it makes the school to work. If the teacher knows that the principal has some authority on him, they will do what they are supposed to do. You know, these days, some teachers will go to even challenging the authority of the principal, even when they know they are wrong, thereby encouraging a lot of bad behavior. Yes, because there are so many things going on. Of course, this governor cannot see everything. The ministry themselves, they cannot see everything. It is those of us in the community, and that is where we come in.
And do you avail government of such information?
Of course,
of irregularities?
Of course. What do you think?
And they are being acted on?
They will. If you report anything and you stand by it, they will act on it.
But before we let go of you on this program, we were talking about challenges for community development associations, yes, and a body in the form of a council, which you head. In order of priority, what are those needs of yours?
Our needs is mainly financial. If, for instance, we held an emergency meeting today, all my zonal chairmen were at the meeting, all the elected state officials were at the meeting. You know, for them to be encouraged, you need to say, okay, in lieu of entertainment, take this.
So you expect her to render a selfless service.
So you go on fasting? No. What if I left what I'm supposed to be doing in my farm and I came to a meeting? I'm expected to be entertained.
to get me encouraged.
Yes.
Just like we have in those days of Aro. By the time you finish
they
in the evening,
goosey soup with pounded yam and so on and so forth.
To further encourage members.
We occasionally have this, but our purse is limited. Government gives us subvention. They have given us subvention early in the year, 500,000 for a council of 50 individuals.
Annually, 500,000 annually.
Sometimes they give twice. Sometimes. And I'm suspecting they will give us another one before the end of this year.
And half of that comes to OGTV.
Okay, we shall consider that. No, if you can continue to spread the news for us, why can't we do something, so a sort of program that we encourage our people to know more about CDAs? It is a multiplying something.
Now, I take a good look at you, and I'm tempted to ask this question. 1947 today, that should be about 67 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I haven't seen any strand of a grey hair. It's a secret. Just tell me about this.
Yeah,
you don't come near. You don't come near the look of a near 70 person.
If you think the hair is just black, something is done to it.
Oh, okay. It's not natural.
It's not natural.
Okay, by and large, you still do not look somebody who is close to 70. Is it by virtue of your community services, or you think that you're actually avoiding certain things that ordinarily could have made you grown older?
Well, I thank God that I don't drink. I don't smoke. Those are the things that can contribute to your health situation. I don't know how to drink. I don't know how to smoke. And I eat a lot of vegetables. I'm a farmer. And I work hard. I work hard in my farm. So I do exercise.
I'm sure you believe in the Nigerian project.
Yes, of course.
Now, if so, I wish that you encourage Nigerians. Take a look at that camera and give them words of encouragement as to why they must continuously believe in the Nigerian project and stand by the Nigerian project.
Well, simply because we have no other country but this Nigeria. I plead to all Nigerians that we should hold on to what we have. It is those of us who have left this country that can appreciate the oneness of Nigeria. Well, we may complain, but there's no choice. There's no reasonable choice. There may be some choices, like these people who call themselves Boko Haram.